Hello, friends. How are you? Welcome to Deborah's Money Journey. Thank you for being here. Today, I'm going to be sharing my investment progress for the month of February. I am going to be working on a goal this year, and that is to save $25,000 to go towards my investment accounts. I am using not only the money that I save, but any additional funds that I earn or that I get. I'm also going to be including those in the amount. And then any dividends I receive, I'm going to transfer those back into those different positions. And so, with all of that, my goal is to try to reach $25,000 by the end of the year. And so, I shared my January numbers with you. And, just right quick, I was able to save $2,125.01. In January, I earned $202.76 in dividends, and I was able to put $2,327.77 towards my retirement funds, getting close to my goal. So I left off in January having a remaining goal of $22,672.23. So hello, if you're new here, welcome to Deborah's Money Journey. My channel is all about me documenting and sharing my financial journey that includes debt payoff, and also savings goals. And this year, one of my big goals is to save $25,000 to go towards my retirement accounts, mainly my Roth IRA. And I'm working on that goal and sharing all of the steps. I'm sharing how much money I save, what I'm transferring to these accounts, and then when I earn additional money, I'm also adding that to the mix. So join me on my journey this year. If you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing and following me as I reach this goal. All right, so that's January. Let's start off with the February numbers. Okay, guys. All right, so as we move into February, I invested on the 3rd $50. On the 3rd, I also sent $50 to my Robo IRA. So I do have two accounts in SoFi. One of them is just a regular investment account. The other one is a Robo Investing IRA account. So those two accounts are what I send money to throughout the month. Okay, I earned a dividend on the 5th from my bond position, and that was $1.98. And then on the 6th, I earned another dividend in my Robo account. And because the Robo account consists of about 20 different positions, for this one, I combined all of the amounts. And so my dividends this month was only $1.82. So clearly, February dividends were really low. But some of my positions, or I should say the majority, are on a quarterly cycle. So those are really, March is the month that I'll start to see a nice amount of dividends. Okay. And then on the 10th, I invested $25. On the 10th, my Robo IRA, I sent $25 there. On the 14th, I invested $25, 17, $25, the 24th, $25, and then on the 27th, I sent $50, and I sent $25.25 to my IRA account. So for the month of February, the total amount I invested in SoFi was $304.05. So when you look at the number, the total, you think, how are those little $25 adding up? That is how I do it. The reason why I do small incremental amounts is because I'm really challenging myself to always focus on doing a little more and pushing myself each month. All right, so that is the total amount for SoFi. Let's move on. My next platform is Vanguard. So this is another platform that I have, and I had about 7 positions in Vanguard, and now I'm down to 3. So those 3 positions are what make up my portfolio. And I also want to tell you that Vanguard, they pay dividends quarterly. So for the month of March, I will be receiving some dividends for the different positions I have. All right, so on the 3rd, I invested $50. The 10th, I invested $25. The 12th, I invested $40. The 17th, it was $25. And then the 27th, another $25. So a total of $165 was invested. All right, so let's go to the 3rd platform. And so for M1, your positions, they are in instead of a graph, they call it a pie. And so your pie is what is made up of all of your different individual positions. And then you can decide what percentage of your pie you want to allocate to the different positions. So I have 2 pies, and number 2 is my primary one. That's why that one usually has the most deposits in it. But the other one, I actually only sent 1 deposit this month. All right, so let's talk about the deposits. Okay, so on the 5th, I invested $50. On the 10th, I invested $25. The 12th, I earned a dividend from Apple. That was $1.59. Okay, 13th, I invested $25. On the 23rd, I earned a dividend from OneMain Financial for $24.70. On the 23rd, I invested $50. And then I do have a cash management account that is sort of like a secondary savings account. And I'm able to add cash to that and earn a little more interest than what I can get even in my high yield account. It's not much, it's a very small amount there as a savings account for now. All right, so I did earn interest and I did deposit some money. So the total amount was $20.38. So my total for M1 Finance for the month was $196.67. All right, let's keep it going. Fidelity. Okay, so for Fidelity, and this is my largest position, my largest account, because it holds an investment account, my Roth IRA, and my 401k rollover. So all those counts are combined here. Okay, so for my Roth, on the 5th, I sent $50 to that account. On the 2nd, I received a dividend, FDHY, for $10.34. And then on the 4th, I received a dividend from JEPI for $60.77. And then on the 4th, my Roth received a dividend from JEPQ in the amount of $15.06. Okay, the 7th, I invested $25. On the 17th, I invested $35. The 20th, I sent $300 to my Roth. The 24th, I invested $25. And then on the 28th, I did receive a dividend for all of my accounts to the tune of $64.55. So total invested in Fidelity was $585.72. So excellent. I am really pleased. It was a short month. I didn't have as much money as I had in January, but I'm very pleased with my consistency. And when I tell you all, consistency works, this is consistency in action. What you're looking at is what consistency is all about. You keep doing something and it will give you some results. All right, so let's go to my other and final account. Now, I do have a retirement binder. I do cash stuff it. So for the month of February, I cash stuffed $508 and in this binder, okay, and that money is going to be invested into my Roth and probably a little bit of it to my account. So I'll probably send, maybe $50 to each account, and then I'll invest the rest to my Roth. So that was $508. All right, guys, so let's look at our totals for the month of February. In SoFi, again, I saved $304.05. Vanguard got $165. Fidelity, $585.72. M1 Finance, $196.67. and then my retirement binder, $508. So the total amount I was able to send to my investment accounts for February is $1,759.44. So that is amazing. Really, really close to 2,000. I didn't quite hit it, but I didn't think I was going to save this much. So I'm very pleased with this amount. And then let's go to our final page, which is the overview for the month of February. All right, so just to recap, I invested $1,577.25. I earned $182.19 in dividends. So I didn't quite hit that $200 mark, but it was close. And then for the total amount saved, that was $1,759.44. So just to recap, just a reminder, my goal is $25,000. Last month, I saved $2,327.77. That combined with what I saved in February, I have saved $4,087.21 for the 2 months, January and February. And that means I have remaining $20,912.79 to save to get to my goal. And so just looking at this, I already know I should be under 20,000 for the month of March. So that's good. I figured if I can save about 2,000 a month, and then any extra money I get on those quarterly months like March and what is it, June, September, and December, I should have extra money in those accounts. Then I think I have a really good chance of reaching this goal. And $20,000 is not bad. So $4,000 was saved so far. This is wonderful, and I'm going to keep going. So that is my February recap. This is how much money I've saved, how close I'm getting to my goal, and what the 2-month period looks like. And yes, we're very excited. We're very pleased. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining me. I hope your savings is going well. I hope you are working on your goals, trying to reach them. Hang in there and keep going. I'll talk to you all again in my next video. Bye.